So here again, in this instance, we're talking about the mud flood. We're looking at a street that was dug out for a particular reason. A lot of times they're putting sewer pipes down, or they need to get to certain parts of one building to fix something, and then they discover that the buildings are actually much older, and there's many floors to it because, as you see here at the top left, no one builds a window or an entrance to bury it in dirt. People try to say it's the basement. No one builds column-like looking structures to a basement. So we can see here that this is part of a cover-up of some sort. And now people walk along the streets about 20 or 30 feet above the old street level, if this, in fact, is the street level that's been dug up. It could go 2 more floors down. So, here is the White House again some years ago as it is being reconstructed and some renovations done. If you look to the left, look at this red line here that's going across the screen, and you will see what is considered or was considered the ground level entrance as you went up to the steps. And as you can see here to the left, the windows to what should be called the basement, let's say, is buried underground. No one builds a building and creates fancy windows and then buries it in dirt on purpose. This building, and sometime during the United States history that no one has told us about, something occurred and buried this building in a mud flood. Now, what we're looking at here is not mud flood, but we're looking at old world structures that they say were built as a temporary entertainment for the public. Another historical narrative where we find the story now becoming what we call borderline self-retarded in believing anymore. You have Chicago in 1893 telling you this is a World's Fair and stuff was built out of plaster of Paris and it's just temporary. The problem is some of the buildings to these things were left and they're still standing today. Let's say they leave an art building or some kind of museum and you go look at it and you're like, this building is very well built. It's not made of plaster of Paris. You know, it wouldn't have lasted 100 years until now. So what we're looking at, part of the cover-up when we have mud flood, is also the fact that these buildings and these grand structures existed in the United States from San Francisco to St. Louis to Buffalo to Chicago.